The panda who wanted to dance ballet in the middle of a bamboo forest in China lived a little panda named Pippa. She was round and fluffy, with bright, curious eyes and paws that were always tapping the ground as if they held a secret rhythm. While the other pandas spent their days munching on bamboo, rolling in the grass, and napping in the sun, Pippa dreamed of something unusual. She wanted to dance ballet. It all began one evening when a traveling troupe of performers passed through a nearby village. Pippa, sneaking away from the forest, peeked between the trees and saw them practicing in the square. Among jugglers and musicians, there was a dancer dressed in a sparkling tutu, twirling gracefully on her toes. She leapt and spun with such elegance that Pippa's mouth fell open. "That," whispered Pippa, "is what I want to do." From that moment, she couldn't stop imagining herself dancing on a stage, wearing a costume of silk and tulle, bowing to the applause of a cheering audience. Whenever the moon rose, she would sneak to the clearing in the forest and try to imitate what she had seen. She twirled on her stubby paws, leapt clumsily into the air, and spun until she tumbled into the grass. At first, it was a mess. Her paws weren't made for standing on tiptoe. Her belly made her wobble. Her legs got tangled when she tried to leap. The other pandas chuckled kindly when they saw her practicing. "Why not stick to climbing trees, Pippa?" asked Bao, her older brother. "Or rolling down hills? You're great at that," added Mai, her cousin. But Pippa shook her head. "I want to be a ballerina, even if it seems impossible." Her determination made her friends pause. They weren't used to pandas dreaming of anything beyond bamboo and naps. But Pippa's eyes sparkled with such hope that soon, instead of laughing, they grew curious. "Maybe we can help you," Bao said one night. And so her training truly began. The rabbits of the forest taught her how to hop lightly without making a sound. The cranes, with their long, slender legs, showed her how to hold her posture tall and proud. The squirrels encouraged her to spin quickly without losing balance, just as they whirled around tree trunks. Even the frogs joined in, demonstrating how to leap high from one rock to another. Every day, Pippa practiced. She stumbled, she fell, she rolled onto her back with her paws in the air, but she always got up again. Slowly, her clumsy hops turned into graceful leaps. Her wobbly spins grew smoother. She learned how to stretch her arms like wings and bow with dignity. Still, Pippa knew something was missing. A stage. A real audience. One afternoon, a colorful poster fluttered into the forest, carried by the wind. It landed right on Pippa's nose. She read it carefully. It announced that the village was hosting a festival with a talent show. There would be singers, jugglers, acrobats, and dancers. The winner would perform on the grand stage at the Lantern Festival, the biggest celebration of the year. Pippa's heart skipped. "This is my chance." Her friends gasped. "You're going to enter?" "Yes," Pippa said firmly. "But I'll need all your help." The animals rallied around her. The cranes stitched together a tutu from petals and soft feathers. The rabbits gathered shiny stones to decorate it. The squirrels braided vines into ribbons for her arms. Bao carved wooden shoes to help her balance, though they were heavy and clunky. The night of the festival arrived. Lanterns glowed like stars along the streets of the village. The square was crowded with people, children, and performers. When Pippa stepped nervously onto the stage, the audience gasped. "A panda? In a tutu?" Some chuckled, some whispered, but Pippa lifted her head high. The music began, a soft melody from a flute and drum. She took a deep breath, remembering every lesson, every fall, every practice under the moon. And then she danced. At first, her movements were simple. A leap, a spin, a twirl. The crowd grew quiet. Then she stretched her paws like wings, gliding across the stage with surprising grace. She leapt higher than anyone expected. She spun so fast her tutu fanned out like a flower. She bowed with elegance, her black and white fur shimmering under the lantern light. The audience erupted into applause. Children cheered. The judges smiled in disbelief and delight. Pippa, the panda ballerina, had captured their hearts. When the contest ended, the announcer raised his hand. And the winner of this year's talent show is Pippa the panda. The crowd roared. Pippa's friends cheered so loudly the trees shook back in the forest. Pippa herself could hardly believe it. She bowed, tears of joy sparkling in her eyes. But the true test was still to come, the Lantern Festival. Weeks later, the grand stage was set by the river, glowing with hundreds of lanterns that floated in the sky like golden stars. Musicians played, fireworks lit up the night, and people from faraway villages gathered to watch the performances. When it was Pippa's turn, she stepped onto the stage wearing a new costume her friends had made, a tutu stitched with silk threads that glimmered in the lantern light. She felt nervous, but she remembered the words her brother had whispered, "Dance with your heart, and you'll never fall." The music began, soft and slow. Pippa glided across the stage. With each note, her movements grew bolder. She leapt as the frogs had taught her, spun like the squirrels, stretched tall like the cranes, and landed as gently as the rabbits. Every step carried the memory of her friend's support. The audience watched in awe. They had never seen a panda dance ballet. She was not perfect, her belly still wobbled when she spun, and her paws were wide, but she danced with joy so pure it shone brighter than perfection. When the final note faded, Pippa bowed low. For a heartbeat, there was silence. Then the crowd burst into thunderous applause. Lanterns floated higher, fireworks bloomed in the sky, and people chanted her name, Pippa, Pippa, Pippa. That night, Pippa became known as the panda ballerina. Her story spread far and wide, inspiring not just pandas but animals everywhere. She showed them that even if you're different, even if people laugh at your dreams, determination and friendship can carry you to the stage of your heart's desire. Back in the forest, Pippa continued to practice. She still stumbled, she still fell, but she always got up. And every evening, as the moon shone down, she danced not just for herself but for all who dared to dream. And if you ever wander into that bamboo forest on a clear night, you might hear the faint sound of paws tapping, leaves rustling, and the soft music of a panda twirling gracefully under the stars.